All right, you're welcome back here to Eurofootball Direct. Now to Italy, and some major deals are happening or could happen with the Italian club. So we jet off to Italy to speak with Patrick Kendrick, a football commentator, based with Italian Serie A. He's been following a lot of the discussions there. So Patrick, good evening and you're welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Great. Now I know that you have been, keeping your ear to the ground over there in Italy. What can you tell us about the biggest transfers that we probably could be expecting? We already know Alexis Sanchez, will be staying with Inter Milan after the loan deal, of course, ended with Man United, and now it's been a permanent deal with Antonio Conte's side. What else are we to be expecting with the Italian Serie A?
Well, there's a lot of talk about Weston McKennie at the moment, the American who could be joining Juventus, which is a slightly unusual move, although he's been doing very well in German football. Certainly, Christian Pulisic at Chelsea has shown that American players are now all the rage. So that could well be Pirlo's first signing but obviously Juventus already secured the signature of Dejan Kulusevski back in January, and then loaned him to Parma for the rest of the season. So they've already made a big splash from that perspective. But a number of clubs have already done a lot of their business. We saw Victor Osimhen, who's gone to Napoli. He's been training for the first few days in Castel di Sangro, their base at the moment. Amir Rahmani as well, the defender from Verona, has also been playing for Napoli. Petagna joined them as well in January. He's come down with COVID-19. As for Milan, it looks like it's going to be consolidation more than anything else. There's talk of Ibrahimovic, will he, won't he, sign a new deal? And as for Inter, well, they've already secured their main man by having Conte stay on. That looked up in the air for a while there.
It's great that you mentioned Inter and you mentioned the main man being Antonio Conte. I'll come to that particular topic very shortly. But also, bizarrely, you never mentioned Juventus. If you did, maybe that I missed that. But Juventus are the best club currently in the Italian Serie A. But we know they won the Serie A by only a point. My thinking is they should be looking to beef up, the Juventus squad. Not a lot about the players coming in. Already, what we are hearing is that Andrea Pirlo, the new manager, is rather looking to, ask a lot of the players and then, obviously, bringing the new guys. What's happening with Juventus?
Yeah, they're certainly in a moment of transition, it must be said. What we had with Juventus was we had two relatively long-serving coaches, certainly in the modern game. First with Conte, who brought back the glory days after the sort of dark days post-Calciopoli. Then we had Allegri, who came in and improved upon Conte's record, which was impressive. Then this changed with Maurizio Sarri, who was supposed to bring in a more creative style of play, shall we say, and revamp the Juventus footballing philosophy, which has always been more functional than in terms of, as opposed to beautiful football. That lasted a season. It wasn't a good fit. Now they have someone who ended his playing career very strongly with Juventus. He's a real thinker in terms of the game. So it really is an intriguing prospect to see how Pirlo copes there. And already some big decisions have been made. It looks like Bernardeschi is on his way out. There's talk of Higuain, who's been told that he can also pack his bags, and they're trying to find a solution for him. So it does remain to be seen where Juventus can do business and what sort of system they're going to play under Pirlo. But this could certainly be an opportunity for the likes of Inter, who are probably chief amongst the challengers at this moment in time. On the one hand, you've got Conte, arguably the best coach, if not only in the Italian league, but also one of the best coaches in world football, against a novice in the shape of Pirlo. But some of the suggestions have been with Juventus in this country that team almost runs itself. You've got some of the old established figures, Buffon, Chiellini, Bonucci. Bonucci, in fact, who Manchester City have been targeting, but they've apparently been knocked back there. So quite interesting. Some of the defenders in Serie A still being linked with moves to the Premier League. Koulibaly as well at Napoli is also a target of Manchester City. So I think we could well be in for one of the best Serie A title races in a long while. It looked that way going through the spring pre-pandemic, and then Lazio fell away once we came back after COVID-19. As you said, it was ultimately 1 point between Juventus and Inter, but Juventus won the league with a couple of games to spare. So it's up to Inter to try and step up and move to that next level, and perhaps try and build a lead on Juventus if they make a slow start under Andrea Pirlo.
Good, Patrick. But also, how huge or how important is this transfer window going to be for the title favorites, Inter Milan, Juventus, for now? Of course, Atalanta and Lazio also put in some great shape last season. But of course, we know the traditional clubs will be those fighting for the trophy possibly next season. How important is this transfer window in Italy?
No, I think it will be very important. I mean, we're still discovering really just how much room for manoeuvre these clubs have, because naturally there have been huge economic repercussions from the pandemic. So Juventus are the richest club in the country. They're really well run. So they always have scope to make big deals. But as I said, they already invested 40 million euros for Kulusevski back in January. But now they've certainly freed up some space in terms of the squad and on the wage bill, with Matuidi obviously leaving and joining Inter Miami as well. As for Inter, Conte has been very demanding from day one. He got a lot of his demands met as well, with the likes of Romelu Lukaku signing last summer. That was the big splash. Then he also had Eriksen brought in during the January transfer window. Now there's talk of Tonali, amongst others, Arturo Vidal. Conte doesn't necessarily have that long-term vision, because in his mind, he's working for himself, his CV. Can I win the Scudetto? What do I need to do so? I need players that are ready, proven winners, as opposed to potentially nurturing younger talent coming through. Inter have brought in some good young players in recent times, the likes of Milan Skriniar, although his future's up in the air, and Niccolò Barella from Cagliari last summer, who was a real success. Okay,
Patrick, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking to you here on the show. We definitely will come back to you if there's more to talk about. Thank you very much. That's Patrick Kendrick, speaking to us all the way from Italy about a lot of the transfer stories.